Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I went to Sephora yesterday because I needed a temporary dopamine hit because it's hard out here these days. So I've had my eye on the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer All Over Warming Complexion Tint. This is their latest release and you know, I'm not quite sure. Is it a skin tint? Is it a balm? Is it a bronzer? Is it a cream bronzer? I feel like it's a little bit of a hybrid of all of those things. So I figured we would do a little bit of a try on haul, see how it goes, and figure out how best to use it. So this is $30. It comes in 6 shades. There's 5 grams in here, and I picked up the shade medium, which is the 3rd deepest shade in the range. I did notice right away, I swatched a couple of the shades in store, and I noticed right away that the swatches turned out to be much sheerer and lighter than this product appears in the pan. So the brand describes this as a 3-in-1 tinted complexion balm that warms and nourishes with sheer coverage to even out the appearance of skin tone. This weightless balm warms, tints, and visibly evens tone while nourishing skin to transform your complexion. This 3-in-1 enhancer is a solid balm, skin tint, and creamy bronzer all in one. Featuring 6 universal shades, this formula is non-comedogenic and offers sheer coverage for a dewy finish. So my takeaway from that is that this is a dewy and very sheer cream bronzer, which is kind of nice because sometimes cream bronzers that are a little bit overly pigmented can be difficult to blend out or difficult to use on a light makeup day. I also think we're in this advent of cream bronzers and also tinted balm products. I know Danessa Myricks came out with their Yummy Skin Balm, I want to say it's called. Maybe I'm making that up. There's also the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer. I know NARS just expanded their cream bronzer formula. I don't have all of those in my collection. Let me know if you're curious for a review of any of those. This is the one that attracted me the most because of the radiant and natural finish. I have cream bronzers in my collection that I use and love for more dramatic makeup days, but I really like the idea of something sheer and lightweight and easy to use, and because it's sheer, maybe it's a little bit mistake proof. So let me give you a swatch of this. To touch, it's really creamy, like it melts on the surface the second you touch it, and it kind of melts onto your finger. So there is a swatch of the shade medium. It has a really nice neutral golden undertone. It's not too yellow, not too orange. I had swatched it next to light medium, which definitely had a more neutral, slightly leaning, almost pink undertone on my skin tone anyway, and I'm like a true golden neutral. So let's give this a shot. The brand recommends that you use their makeup brush for this. I don't have their makeup brush, but I do really like my Rephr 04 brush for cream bronzer or cream contour. It's a natural bristle brush, and I like it because it's cut at an angle, but it's also quite fluffy. So even though the brush is actually quite small, you're able to diffuse the product on the cheek while still keeping the product quite focused in terms of application because the surface area of the brush is not actually that big. By the way, I do have my base makeup done already. I like to test cheek products on top of foundations that I already use and know and love. That way I can judge the cheek products with something that I'm already familiar with and get a better sense of the product. So I'm going to take the brush directly into the product and just tap, tap, tap. I picked up a little bit of product there. I'm going to start with my cheekbone and just kind of apply this the way that I would apply other cream bronzer. Personally, I like to tap this and tap cream products kind of across the top of the cheekbone and pull it backwards into the hairline and into the temple, actually, kind of swooping upwards. And I find that that creates a really nice lift. You know, this is described as a, what's it called? All over warming complexion tint. And I can see the way that's working because it's definitely warming up my skin tone, but it also has a bit of translucency. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but certain cream bronzers that are very high pigment actually give the skin a bit of coverage because there's so much pigment in the product. Because this is sheerer, it's more of a bronzy skin tint in balm form. It has a real skin-like finish, and it definitely has a dewiness. Like, I think you can see across my cheek, there's a bit of a sheen, and that comes from the texture of the product, as well as, is there mica in this or like shimmer? Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm swatching it and looking really closely, there is a bit of, it's not even shimmer, it's kind of like a bit of a pearliness that I can see as the light is catching across my cheekbone. But that looks so pretty. It almost looks like I put on cream bronzer on top of a liquid illuminator, which is a combination I like to wear often, but this kind of gives me that 2-in-1 cheek look. All right, so this side of my face, I have applied the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt. This side I haven't. You can see it's giving me a bit of dimension and a bit of light, but it's definitely sheerer than other cream bronzers I've tried, and it creates so much luminosity across the cheeks. It's really beautiful. So I'm gonna go in on this side. My ear is still very much healing. It's not infected or anything, it's just bruised, which is normal. It's still been less than a week since I got that piercing, so just wanna let you know if you didn't know and you're wondering why my ear is red. Something else I'm noticing is this kind of like melts into the skin. It's hard to describe because it's not thick at all, but it really doesn't take much to blend this out, because it just sort of melts into the skin. And it's so sheer that it's really undetectable. Like, that's kind of all I needed to do to warm up the complexion, as the claims say. Wow, I really love this. I'm actually really surprised because I'm pretty picky with cream bronzers and contours. I find that it's hard to get the shade exactly right, and this is warming. It has a little bit of that golden undertone that I like, but it doesn't look yellow. There's like an even blend of yellow and red that brings out a bit of warmth without looking fake. While I'm here, I thought I would do some comparison swatches of my other cream bronzers. So up top is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt in medium. Then I've got the Fenty Cheeks Out Cream Bronzer in Macchiato. Then I've got the Say Beauty Sun Melt bronzer in the shade Medium Bronze. Then I've got the Persona Cosmetics Cream Bronzer in the shade Dune. Then I've got the Persona Cosmetics Cream Bronzer in the shade Sahara. Milk Makeup bronzer in the shade Baked. And the Westman Atelier Cream Bronzer Cream Contour in the shade Truffle. I'm not sure if this will come through on camera, but you can definitely tell by the finish that the Makeup by Mario product is definitely more sheer in pigment and also dewier in finish than the other cream bronzers that I've swatched here. I really do think the Makeup by Mario shade is a true neutral, especially compared to the other ones where it's like the warmer tone shades are here, the more neutral, cooler toned contour shades are down here, and this is sort of somewhere right in the middle. It is obviously radiant in finish, and it does sort of light up and liven up the complexion, but it doesn't feel sticky and it doesn't feel thick or heavy. I'm going to finish off my makeup. I'm just gonna keep it really simple, and let me check back in with you to see how the Soft Sculpt is wearing into the skin. So I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame Eyes to Mesmerize and just do a one and done quick eyeshadow look. I'm using my Thrive Cosmetics All Over Eyeshadow brush. This is a great brush actually for cream eyeshadow. It's just a really nice shape. It has that kind of curved edge, but it's also fluffy on the side, so you can blend out the edges really well. So that's Walk of No Shame. It's such a pretty shade because you can really create dimension with it. It's just one eyeshadow, but I applied it deeper at the root of my lashes and just kind of blended it out towards my brow bone, and I love the way it looks. It's great for summer. I thought I would try these ColourPop Jelly Munch eyeshadows. They sent these over a couple of weeks ago. They sent over the shade Mojave Moves and Mystical. And so that is Mojave Moves. It flashes pretty silver, and this is Mystical, which is more of like a rose gold. I know the rose gold would probably go with the base, but I'm actually curious about the contrast of like a cool toned eyeshadow with this very warm eyeshadow base with Walk of No Shame. So I'm just gonna use the same brush, and then I'm just going to tap this, I guess, across the eyelid for like a scattered, twinkly look. That's actually really pretty layered together. Sort of unexpected. It definitely cooled down the red tones in the Walk of No Shame shade, but it creates a very like wet looking eye look. Going in with my Rare Beauty mascara. For lips, I thought I would try one of the lip products that I picked up in Korea. I did share my entire Korea trip haul in a video that I will link in the description box. This is the Amuse Dew Velvet, and it's such a beautiful product. It comes in a tube like this. This is a very sheer but matte lip tint. That's just one swipe. You can see it starts out very, very sheer, and it is buildable. It's not the kind of matte that's like a flat matte. It's more of like, I don't know, like a soft velvet lip stain. And it has a really natural look on the lips, but it also creates this kind of like ethereal, soft veil of color over the lips. Oh, and mine is in the shade 05. I picked this up in Sephora Korea, but I have found it on some retailer sites that ship to the US and internationally. So this is just a really easy product to apply. That's one sheer layer. So you can see it has a really blurred velvet lip look, but it actually feels really comfortable on the lips. It's not drying at all, and it creates almost like this soft, pillowy look over any lip lines or just natural lip texture. I am going to build it up a little bit. The applicator isn't a flat wand, it's kind of this like domed applicator, which I actually find is really great for blurring the lip line because it doesn't come to a point. It's actually rounded at the edge, and so you're able to create this really beautiful, diffused, cloud-like lip line. Okay, that is the makeup done. I didn't add any cheek products. I did take my beauty blender that just had a little bit of, not even really powder, but I used it to apply powder earlier in my routine, and I just kind of pressed around the T-zone. I think because I did carry the Soft Sculpt across my cheeks and a little bit on the bridge of my nose, it did get a little bit dewy and a little shiny. So I just wanted to touch up there, but I didn't add any additional product, no blush, no highlighter. I am going to be wearing this makeup probably for 5 or 6 hours today, so I will let you know how it looks at the end of that wear time. But overall, I feel like this is a very me kind of product, and it is actually pretty unique to my collection. It does just kind of warm up the complexion and make you look a little bit sun-kissed and summery, but because it has that kind of dewy skin-like finish, it actually looks like your skin and not like makeup. I also have to say I'm so happy that this comes in 6 shades and that beauty brands are coming out with more extensive and more inclusive bronzer shade ranges, just because, you know, historically we've seen 2, maybe 3 shades max. And now we're starting to get 4, 5, 6 shade bronzer ranges. And I just think that's a huge step forward. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I will leave a pinned comment with my wear test review, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.